Whether or not you watched the debate last week, I'm sure you've heard at least one line from it. My friend actually put over some changes for our listening pleasure.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
And at a glance, this may just sound like the ramblings of a cognitively declining septuagenarian who is definitely not suited to run for office, much less hold it. Unfortunately, the rabbit hole is still deep. I can go further, I promise. But first, let's establish our characters. This is Springfield, Ohio. Springfield used to be a big manufacturing and agriculture town, but due to nationwide deindustrialization, they've been experiencing significant population and economic declines. In 2014, they actually launched an initiative to try to attract more foreign-born residents in an attempt to improve their economy. This is Haiti. Haiti is having a humanitarian crisis. The country is in political turmoil. Armed gangs control 80% of the capital and have escalated into a full-on war against UN peacekeepers and government security forces, not to mention the frequency of natural disasters, which the country's infrastructure is not developed enough to handle. So, Haitian refugees have been granted temporary protected status in the US, and many have gone to Springfield. And in many ways, they've been a boon to a town whose population and workforce have been declining since the 60s.
Jamie McGregor is the CEO of McGregor Metal, which makes welded parts for the auto and farm industries. Right now, about 10% of his workforce is Haitian, over 30 employees.
I wish I had 30 more. Our Haitian associates come to work every day. They'll stay at their machine. They'll achieve their numbers. They are here to work. And so in general, that's a stark difference from what we're used to in our community.
Haiti is also super Christian, so the dwindling Springfield church population is actually up again.
For years, we've lost people, but you hope somebody else will come and take their place. That hasn't happened here.
Until now.
Because there are folks from Haiti who are coming to church.
Lucas Merzus, who, among his many other jobs, mans the soundboard for Sunday services, is one of those new Haitian members.
But there has been a wave of anti-Haitian sentiment largely spearheaded by members of the group Blood Tribe. Blood Tribe is an extremely far-right neo-Nazi group by their own accounts. They exalt Hitler as a deity and claim to be fighting a righteous war against non-Aryans. In early August, Blood Tribe organized an anti-Haitian immigrant demonstration in Springfield where they marched through community events holding rifles and swastika flags. Also, not for nothing, I have reason to believe that these people are not native to Springfield. They are just coming to Springfield because they know there are a lot of Haitian immigrants there and they just want to create chaos. And I guess that's not a huge detail, but it's worth noting. The group's leader spoke at a Springfield County Commission meeting later that month.
Good evening to the people of Springfield. My name is Nathaniel Higgers of Blood Tribe.
Nathaniel Higgers? Nate Higgers? Can you figure that one out?
I was at the head of the anti-Haitian immigration march earlier this month. I've come to bring a word of warning. Stop what you're doing before it's too late. Crime and savagery will only increase with every Haitian you bring in.
You get the point. Nazis. They were at the forefront of this rhetoric. They started circulating rumors about Haitian immigrants eating cats and dogs on Gab and Telegram in early August. Then, at the beginning of September, online right-wingers started circulating a Facebook post from a woman who said that she had heard that Haitian immigrants stole her neighbor's friend's daughter's cat. Which to me sounds like a linguistics 101 lesson in recursion and definitely not a credible source for a story. NewsGuard ended up checking in with that neighbor who said that she had heard it from someone else, so there's no one who can actually corroborate this, but that didn't stop the right from signal boosting the absolute hell out of it. In the days leading up to the debate, X the Everything app was flooded with memes, many AI generated, about how Trump has to save the cats of Springfield. These may look like edgy shit posts, but these are all from sitting elected Republican representatives. They have silver checks because they're government-affiliated accounts. And it really speaks to the total degradation of the grand old party. It's so inappropriate and out of line for any member of Congress to be circulating this kind of stuff, but Republicans are a fundamentally unserious party with heavy fascist inclinations, so even after the mayor, the chief of police, and city officials came out and said there were no credible claims of people's pets being stolen, J.D. Vance said, "Don't let the crybabies in the media dissuade you, fellow patriots. Keep the cat memes flowing." By the way, cringe.
Cringe. There's no other word for it. This makes me cringe. It's embarrassing.
But that's how we ended up with Donald Trump, flustered by Kamala making fun of his rally attendants, going on an unprovoked rant about Haitian immigrants in Springfield eating the dogs and the cats. But this stuff doesn't happen in a vacuum. Like, sure, it's funny in a way, but Springfield is a real place, and this rhetoric has had serious consequences for its residents. Haitian immigrants are terrified for their lives. Bomb threats are being sent to schools, hospitals, and government buildings.
The state highway patrol troopers in Ohio will now be positioned at every school building in the town of Springfield. This comes after 2 more elementary schools were evacuated just today over bomb threats. There have been 33 bomb threats since late last week. 6 schools in the area have now been targeted since Trump on the debate stage mentioned the false story about migrants eating pets in Springfield.
The woman who made the initial Facebook post said she had no idea how viral it would go, and she feels terrible for the impact it's had on the Haitian community in Springfield. But Republicans are undeterred. This picture made the rounds on Elon's Slop app, supposedly of a Haitian migrant in Springfield taking geese out of the park to eat. But the Ohio Department of Wildlife has come out and said that this is actually a man taking roadkill off the road in Columbus, which is 45 minutes away. There's also no evidence that he's a migrant. He's just black. When faced with the fact that his claims are totally unsubstantiated, J.D. Vance said, "You know what's confirmed? That a child was murdered by a Haitian migrant who had no right to be here." The murder in question was an accidental bus crash. But J.D. Vance is choosing his words to evoke in his viewers' minds the image of a vicious migrant brutally killing a child. The parents of this child have also come out and begged people to stop using their late son as a puppet to justify their hatred of immigrants.
The last thing that we need is to have the worst day of our lives violently and constantly shoved in our faces. But even that's not good enough for them. They take it one step further. Politicians, Bernie Moreno, Chip Roy, J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump, they have spoken my son's name and used his death for political gain. This needs to stop now. Did you know that one of the worst feelings in the world is to not be able to protect your child? Even worse, we can't even protect his memory when he's gone. Please stop the hate.
You'll also notice the word choice of "had no right to be here." That's because the Haitian man in question, and by the way, all TPS residents, are living in the US legally, so J.D. Vance can't do what he wants to do, which is call them illegal immigrants. On the other hand, Trump is just calling them illegal, which is, again, objectively not true, but when has that ever stopped him?
Illegal Haitians, and he came in, illegal Haitian migrants, taking over a beautiful place. It was so beautiful.
To be clear, if this were an undocumented immigrant, none of my opinions on this issue would be any different, but it's worth noting that Trump and his ilk have been trying to expand what constitutes an illegal immigrant for years now. In 2018, the Trump administration made efforts to mass revoke citizenship of people they believed to be illegal. In 2019, they revoked temporary protected status for over 300,000 refugees, making them vulnerable to deportation. And the efforts to widen the scope of illegal immigrants have continued in this campaign. DHS data estimates that there are about 11 million undocumented immigrants in the country. They have no incentive to minimize this. But J.D. Vance recently said in an interview that there are upwards of 25 million, and that the DHS and Border Patrol are actually undercounting.
We have 25 million illegal aliens in this country right now because Kamala Harris has refused to do her job.
Very quickly, DHS says it's much lower. It's closer to 8 million.
But I think there are reasons to think that DHS is underestimating.
When the interviewer pushed back, he just kind of spouted some speculative word salad.
Where do you get the 25 million from?
Well, I think the 25 million are the people that should have been deported that maybe weren't deported, plus you had another 12 to 15 million that have come in since Kamala Harris.
Also, Trump recently said that some undocumented immigrants are not people, but the left won't let you say that.
These are animals, okay? If you call them people, I don't know if you call them people. In some cases, they're not people, in my opinion, but I'm not allowed to say that because the radical left says that's a terrible thing to say.
And you best believe the dehumanizing and villainizing has continued for the Haitian migrants.
I'm angry about young American girls being raped and sodomized and murdered by savage criminal aliens.
And I know we've all been desensitized to his rhetoric, but you understand this is like 20 times worse than it was in 2016, right?
But it wasn't just a meme.
Create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana.
You just said that you're creating
a story.
a story.
Public policy.
I'm going to say something, guys. this construction of an invading outside force, fomenting distrust within communities, legislative officials inciting hostility and displaying tacit endorsement of violence. They're laying the ground for fucking pogroms. I've talked about blood libel before. This Haitians are eating people's beloved pets thing is about as close as you can get to blood libel without actually doing it. They're taking their cues from Nazis. And by the way, J.D. Vance, by his own account, has been galvanizing people around this issue for months. He said he's been doing it at least since August. And this Facebook post didn't go up till September. Since there have been no credible reports of this happening, the only people circulating those rumors in August were the Nazis. And the politicians and the pundits know what they're saying isn't true, but they're appealing to the base. And the base doesn't care if the information they're working off of is credible or not, as long as it confirms their pre-existing narrative. Benny Johnson, Republican commentator recently exposed as one of the many right-wing influencers being paid off by Russian operatives, posted this video that he claims is evidence of migrants eating pets. It's almost half an hour of talking to random people in Springfield who, let's be real, are gunning for a feature on Fox News, making shit up about Haitian immigrants in white vans collecting all the cats in town.
There was Haitians in a white van driving around the neighborhoods, collecting cats, skinning them and eating them.
And you can tell it's made up because they have to AI generate their B-roll. It also opens with this clearly level-headed, impartial interviewee.
Don't wave at me, you sorry sand monkey.
Literally just waving at him. But yes, this is that unbiased journalism we've all been looking for.
I don't like him, and I want him to know I don't like him. Pack up and move back to Haitieville, wherever the f*** you're from.
Did somebody say race war?
Look, every time a country moves into another country, talk about we're taking over, that shit leads to war.
100%. It's just full-on war going down right now.
That's what it's coming to.
Okay.
Can you imagine if these kinds of weak white people got their way in the early and mid 20th century? If we'd mass deported the Irish and Italian and Eastern European and Latin American immigrants who built this country and turned it into the global superpower it is today? Do you think we would have even a fraction of the cultural hegemony that we have? Oh, but the Irish and the Italian and the Eastern European immigrants, those are different. Why? Why are they different? They had to learn English. They didn't assimilate right away. They were met with hostility. They formed enclaves. What makes them different? Why? Hey, why are they different? Why are those immigrants different? And by the way, Haitian immigrants deserve safety and security and dignity whether or not they are a boon to the American workforce. But they are! White supremacists will actively work against better outcomes for everyone because they are so blindly motivated by hate. If these people really cared about the residents of Springfield, they'd be starting fundraisers, they'd be pushing for more funding to Medicaid, they'd be pushing for increased infrastructure spending and fairer housing practices, but they're not doing any of that, are they? No, they're sending bomb threats to elementary schools and hospitals, which, by the way, is hurting white people as much as anyone else they think they're getting to. They are just motivated by destruction and hate. Immigrants are an unambiguous benefit to the United States. Economically speaking, they contribute more than $3 trillion to the GDP every year. Immigrants are twice as likely as native-born Americans to start a business. Undocumented immigrants specifically, every year pay almost $100 billion in federal, state, and local taxes, and because they don't have a social security number, they're not getting any of those benefits back. But this isn't just about numbers. This is about recognizing the inherent dignity of every person who has come to this country seeking a better life. It sounds trite, but the United States is a country of immigrants, and it has been built by generations of immigrants who are hardworking, innovative, appreciative of the opportunity to be in the country, not to mention the cultural contributions they're making, not to mention the fact that they deserve to live a safe and stable life. America is what it is today because of immigrants. And to spread lies and target their families with hateful rhetoric and even worse behavior is antithetical to the foundation of what this nation is supposed to be. Why do I always start filming these videos so late? Thank you. Be kind to one another. Don't take your cues from Nazis.